Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. We continue reading from Surah Fatir, and we have 5 verses to cover before the end of this surah. In the last session, that was the last session, there was a question. The Prophet ﷺ was directed to ask the polytheists, what did they create? Have you considered your associate gods which you invoke besides Allah? Show me what they have created on earth. Or do they have a share in the creation of the heavens? Okay, that's part of the verse. Now we read in the next verse something that needs to be explained. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أن الله يمسك السماوات والأرض أن تزولا ولئن زالتا إن أمسكهما من أحد من بعده إنه كان حليما غفورا. Indeed, Allah alone keeps the heavens and the earth from falling apart. Falling apart, disappearing, disintegrating. If they were to fall apart, none but Him could hold them up. He is truly most forbearing, all forgiving. To appreciate the heavens and the earth, we need to at least understand what do we know about the heavens and the earth. Our knowledge is obviously expanding. At one point, astrophysicists, scientists spoke about the universe because they speak about the light $13.6 billion years. Then it was modified to 26 plus 26 billion years, and that's the part of the universe that we can observe. And then I've read a statement about that the universe that we know about in terms of the observable universe, in fact, the part of the universe that is observable to us has a diameter of approximately 93 billion light years. What was 3.6, 3.8 billion, because the universe is expanding. وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. This is the Qur'an. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Qur'an that He's expanding the universe, and now we understand that the galaxies are moving at a speed beyond our imagination. Like 24 hours from right now, where we are in the universe, we will be about 57 million miles away from this point. The numbers, we talk about at least 2 trillion galaxies. That's the observable part. So what's holding this universe together? Because the universe is so vast, the exact size is unknown, expanding still. And because there is part of the universe that we cannot see, observe, we have the Hubble, we have another telescope in orbit. Some scientists they said that the potentially infinite, that, it cannot be infinite it's, you know, if you say infinite in the sense of really it is so large, okay, that I understand, but infinite in the sense of it's not quantifiable, that I have uh, to question, because the Quran says in Surah Al-Ra'd, وكل شيء عنده بمقدار. كل شيء, everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created is intentional, it's His will, it's quantifiable بمقدار. And this universe is held together by laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in the universe. There are certain assumptions. For example, because the universe expansion is accelerating, they say that there's a mysterious phenomenon, and they call it dark energy. And the assumption is that the dark energy is thought to be uniformly distributed throughout the universe, pushing galaxies apart. All this while still thinking about the verse that we have just read. إن الله يمسك السماوات والأرض أن تزولا ولئن زالتا إن أمسكهما من أحد من بعده إنه كان حليما غفورا. Indeed, Allah alone keeps the heavens and the earth from falling apart, from disintegrating. The laws that keep things together. On a micro scale, think about the mountains and what will happen to the mountains on the day of judgment. قل ينسفها ربي نسفا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will blow them up. Okay. In another verse, the mountains will become كالعهن المنفوش, like fluffy wool. And this is the language that is appropriate for almost 1500 years ago. And I understand the fluffy wool is that it's a disintegration of that of the atom. There's nothing's holding together the matter. That's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that they will be held together, and now it's time for them to be disintegrated. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Himself to the mountain, when Prophet Moses in the Quran asked to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he told him, you will not be able to see me. But look at that mountain. If it remains in its place, then you'll be able to see me. And that mountain, once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Himself, disappeared. So it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created this universe. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who keeps the universe intact with these laws, gravitational forces. They speak about the theory of relativity, speak about dark matter, speak about black holes, speak everything that is a scientific law, it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, إن الله يمسك السماوات والأرض أن تزولا ولئن زالتا إن أمسكهما من أحد من بعده إنه كان حليما غفورا. وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم لئن جاءهم نذير لا يكونن أهدى من إحدى الأمم فلما جاءهم نذير ما زادهم إلا نفورا. They swore by Allah their most solemn oaths that if a warner were to come to them, they would certainly be better guided than any other community. Yet when a warner did come to them, as Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it only drove them further away from the truth, from guidance. استكبارا في الأرض ومكر السيء ولا يحيق المكر السيء إلا بأهله فهل ينظرون إلا سنة الأولين فلن تجد سنة الله تبديلا ولن تجد سنة الله تحويلا. Behaving arrogantly in the land and plotting evil, but evil plotting only backfires on those who plot. Are they waiting anything but the fate of those destroyed before? You will find no change in the way of Allah, nor you will find it diverted to someone else, or simply it will not be changed, diverted to other communities. أولم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم وكانوا أشد منهم قوة وما كان الله ليعجزه من شيء في السماوات ولا في الأرض إنه كان عليما قديرا. Have they not traveled throughout the land to see what was the end of those destroyed before them? They were far superior in might, but there is nothing that can escape Allah in the heavens or the earth. He is certainly all-knowing, most capable. This is an invitation. Some people live in the vicinity, like literally they see the remains, the ruins of peoples who once lived and established magnificent edifices. It could be Lola in the Arabian Peninsula, it could be the Petra in Jordan, it could be the pyramids in Egypt. What happened to all those people? None of them is around. None of them is around. Like, none of them. There is no continuum. As a people, they are no more. And this is also an invitation. أولم يسيروا في الأرض. Have they not traveled throughout the land? It's an invitation. So archaeology is important. And archaeology is important you can study. Anthropology is important. You can study what was going on. If you have ruins, archaeological digs, so that you can study what was going on. Sometimes there was like a certain moment, like it's very quickly, a volcano abruptly spreading ashes, and people kind of froze in time, like the way they were. Something like this is in Italy. And be careful because archaeology could be politicized, like in Palestine. You have Palestinian archaeologists and Israeli archaeologists, they don't see things eye to eye. And ideology does influence archaeology, the interpretation. ولو يأخذ الله الناس بما كسبوا ما ترك على ظهرها من دابة ولكن يؤخرهم إلى أجل مسمى فإذا جاء أجلهم فإن الله كان بعباده بصيرا. If Allah were to punish people immediately for what they have committed, He would not have left a single living being on earth. But He delays them for an appointed term, either individually as communities or the day of judgment. And when their time arrives, then surely Allah is all seeing of His servants. So people commit things that are definitely they anger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but still, despite this, they have been given a chance, a respite. There's an appointed term. Once that term arrives, that's their time arrives, no more delays, no more postponement. We have reached the end of Surah Fatir. The oath that those polytheists took, وأقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم, that's in Ibn Kathir, that's Quraysh, the polytheist Quraysh. Remember that. Many of the companions, the believing, the Muslims, they had relatives who remained polytheists. In fact, the uncles of the Prophet ﷺ themselves, one can divide them into two groups: those who believed and those who disbelieved. And amongst those who disbelieved, some of them became even arch enemies, except for Abu Talib, who defended the Prophet ﷺ. Yes. ما ترك على ظهرها من دابة. ما ترك على ظهرها من دابة. Even the animals would have been, they would have died, but they do wait. They are there's a certain moment. It's the day of the judgment, and then ولكن يؤخر من أجل مسمى. On the day of judgment, they will be held accountable, and each one will be presented with his or her deeds. Faith as a cornerstone, but that's really the what will happen on the day of judgment, either reward or punishment. In the next surah, Surah Yasin, which is one would think that Imam Ghazali would have chosen from Surah Yasin some Jews, some pairs. Definitely, maybe we'll just simply have at least one session about Surah Yasin. But Imam Ghazali did not select anything from Surah Yasin. He jumps to Surah Al-Saffat. So, inshallah, in the next session, we'll just have like kind of an additional session for Surah Yasin, despite the fact that Imam Ghazali did not choose anything from the surah. والله سبحانه وتعالى أعلى وأعلم. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.